Hello everyone, I am Miraj. Welcome my very first podcast, Let's Grow channel series. I am excited to introduce my very first guest today. She is a grad student in industrial psychology at Springfield College. She is one of the most active and calm individual that I have ever met. She is incredibly knowledgeable with a deep thought process. She is an international student and very good friend of mine. Let's welcome Ximena.
Hi, thank you. Thank you for the welcome.
You are welcome. Ximena, tell a little more about yourself.
So I'm an international student. I'm from Mexico. I came here to first do my MBA, and then I finished that program and then started a second one, which is a Master in Science in Industrial Organizational Psychology. So as of right now, I have two master's degrees.
Oh wow, that's interesting. And let's talk a little bit about myself as well. I am Miraj and I am undergrad and I'm computer science and business major. And today, me and Ximena, we are going to talk about our journey, our experience, whatever we have felt as an international student, and it will be very exciting and interesting because I am undergrad and she is grad. So you guys are going to have the experience of undergrad and grad in today's session. Let's start from here. Ximena, what was your let's talk about the expectation and the reality. What was your expectation before coming to United States?
I think that for expectation versus reality, I was very nervous to start, a life or a whole degree in another country. It's very nerve-wracking, and I didn't really have an expectation. I did grow up with a lot of American influence, a lot of American TV shows, so I guess it was a little bit influenced by that. We do have a lot of the American influence back home. Mexico and the US are very close together, so I didn't really have an expectation as much as I really wonder what was going to happen when I was here, how it was going to be, if I was going to like the people I was going to live with, if I was going to like the people that I was going to go to class with, if I was going to make friends, like how good or how bad it was going to be. And I think I was more scared that it was going to be bad because I was going to be alone here. It was just going to be me. So in a way, it seems like I had to start all over again. But so far, it was way better. I think I was more afraid of the what ifs than thinking of it's going to be all right. So
yeah, that's so interesting to hear that, and I can see because as you say that you are close to the USA and you were influenced, you watched this USA show, movie, everything. But my experience was like very huge, very different. Wait, I'm from Nepal, and Nepal is like, you can say, totally opposite. If you see the globe, like we are opposite to United States. When it is night here, it is day in Nepal. So you can imagine like how far we are from there. And I had like very huge expectation coming to United States. I'm a first generation student, so this is the first one who came to the college, so we didn't know about how college look like. And even coming to the United States, like the America, it was like very big thing for me, my family, and everyone. And I had like imaginative USA because the place where I come from, it is like underdeveloping country. This is developed country, so whatever I have seen in you can say Google or like well infrastructure, different way of teaching, like it's more about the practical than just theory, and cultural shocks, like cultural shocks in the sense like people are like very open, anyone can talk with anyone. So I think this was my expectation, but my expectation was very close to the reality, because I saw a lot of big buildings, very big playground. The high school where I went, it was like close to the dorm where I live, like that big was my high school. So I think it was like very whatever I was imagining, it was like very close, but it's more than that one.
I think one of the things that I was also scared about is that I've never had roommates. Back in Mexico, it's not as common to go to college and have dorms. It's always, unless you go to another state, you really like live at home. Where I went to college, it was very close from home, and I never lived with anybody else. I just lived at home. Friends of mine, they just lived at home. It was really strange, the side of living with roommates. I think that was also one of the things that I was worried about, and it was honestly how I expected. It was very chill, and it was not as how I was imagining it. I was terrorized.
Yeah, I have an interesting story about the roommate. Even in my high school, I used to live in a single room, even in my home. And I came here, I have like, oh, this is good thing. I have a housing scholarship at Springfield College. And my housing scholarship cover like 2 bed in a room. And I'm very fortunate since from my freshman year. Now I am junior, it's almost 3 years. And I'm so lucky that I always get a single room and I do not need to pay anything. But sometimes I also think like I think I need to have I wish I would have a roommate so that I will have an experience like how to deal with the people. And so a lot of time I think I'm very happy because I see some of my friends and people say they do not like a roommate in the sense because sometimes I study for the late night, so you cannot have a light and this thing. But there is also pros and cons. But I will say that even though having roommate is also good, so that it will shape your some of the habit and these things. So there is a pros and cons about that.
For sure, you have to adapt as well. I think when you live on your own, you have your own things how you want them. You have your own space. When you're living with people, you have to accommodate yourself to that. So it's also a big step.
I hope I will get a roommate next semester. We talk about the expectations and reality. Let's talk a little bit about the Springfield College. How did you come to the Springfield College, and why did you come to the Springfield College?
Yeah, so I found out about Springfield College on a university fair back home actually. It was mid-pandemic, I think. It was calming down a little bit, but I was still in online classes. I was still figuring out what was going to be my next step. The work life was very tricky because a lot of people were not hiring. There was still a lot of online remote work happening, so I didn't know how my future after graduating was going to look like. So I went to this university fair. My parents proposed this idea of trying to do my master's degree. And I graduated from my bachelor's in marketing and communications, which I loved. And we ended up going, we heard on the radio this university fair was going to happen, and we ended up going. And we saw a ton of universities from Europe, universities from the States. And some of my options were in Europe, which was a lot more expensive. And it was a lot more tricky as well because one of the benefits from the US colleges that you have the dorm options. Others you would have to either Airbnb or rent an apartment, which it also comes with big decisions. And one of the universities at the university fair was Springfield College. And I sat down with the recruit that went, and we talked about my undergrad, we talked about what I wanted to do, and that's when he showed me this brochure for the Springfield College MBA program. And that's when I started to weigh all of my options, and Springfield College ended up being one of the best options for me to come here. So that's how I found about it.
Congratulations, welcome to Springfield.
Yeah.
I think my way of making decision to coming to Springfield College was a bit similar to you, but it's a little bit different because when I was applying, I applied more than 36 colleges, and because I was looking for the full ride, I think that was one of the major, you can say that my decision making factor, like wherever I will get full ride, I will go. Then I applied 36 colleges. I was accepted from 26 colleges.
Oh, wow.
And I got very good scholarship from bunch of other colleges like Howard. I was like almost full tuition and other colleges, but I came to Springfield College. First, first and foremost, I got a very good scholarship, like very good scholarship. So that is the very good component. Compared to all other colleges, I got very good scholarship from the Springfield College. Secondly, I was talking with other international student and also the official, and I found that the community is very engaging. It's a small college where everyone know everyone, and this is what I also got over here. I think this is the two major factor that's why I chose the Springfield College.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's talk about a little about the cultural shock. But now I am assuming you said that you were very close to here, so you might not have a lot of cultural shock. But what was your cultural shock?
I did. I did have a big culture shock. Even though Mexico and the U.S. are so close together, the culture shock was big. I think it was one of the biggest changes for me because it doesn't matter how close we are, cultures are not the same, people are not the same, traditions and ways are not the same. So for me, that was one of the hardest things. And even though Springfield College is such a big community, it still felt that I was missing my inner tribe. I was missing the people. There's, back home, wherever you go, wherever you go into a store, whether you go into the movies, wherever you go, you always, say good morning. Whenever you leave, you said have a good afternoon, have a good day. Whenever we say hi to a person, goodbye, we usually have like a kiss on the cheek, and that doesn't happen here. They're more, in a way, it's a colder way of being than back home. And sometimes when I go back home and visit, that's what I miss. I miss the warmth that I think Mexicans, we can all say that we have, and it's one of the big things that even when I leave a store here in the US, I always say to the person like, have a good day or enjoy the rest of your day, which it's not seen a lot here. Whenever I have class, I always thank my professor for the class. I don't think it's very common either in the US. So whenever I would leave, I will always be like, well, thank you for your time. So everybody always tells me that I am too kind. So I think that's some of the few things. If we go to food, of course I miss my food. It's one of the big things Mexico has. Culinary is amazing. So I did have a culture shock. I think more than, if we go back to the question of expectation versus reality, I think it was more the culture shock than the expectation versus what I was living.
Ximena, I'm impressed by the warm culture shock. Let's go to your country now. That was so nice. Oh wow. First I was like, when I thought like it would not be a lot of cultural shock because you are very close, but the way you said how Mexico have a warm, a very good way of welcoming, I think I'm impressed by that one. Thank you. I think I need to go to Mexico sometime.
Yeah, everybody's gonna welcome you.
Yeah, so. Thank you. And about my cultural shock, everything was shocking for me. I think the biggest cultural shock was that, and even though this is the good lesson for the international student who is coming to the United States, when I came in NSO, the first cultural shock was that I also come from a village, so it's like, I don't know what is the exact word, but like I come from the village where like boys and girls have a very good gap. So boys and girls are like very rarely together, and also everyone was together, so that was like very big shocking for me. Secondly, dude, before coming to United States, I don't know like what is the sauces, like what types of sauces they want, and in the NSO they were talking about what is your favorite sauce, what do you like more. I never heard the word sauce, and they were saying ketchup, honey mustard, and I was like, then I feel like, oh, I'm so dumb because I don't know anything. No, it was like,
it's just different.
Yeah, this is different. Please, whenever you guys are coming, just be mentally ready. Because now I'm very good with my academics. I am like, I have a very good GPA and everything is very good. But I was thinking, I don't know these things, and they were like very confident because this is very small thing. This is
Yeah.
day-to-day things, and then they were asking, hey, what is your favorite ice cream flavor? I swear, in Nepal, I have only eaten like it's like $2, not $2, like five Nepalese rupees a kind of ice cream.
Okay.
There is only one ice cream. I don't know what is the different types of ice cream.
Okay.
And when they were saying a lot of
How
people
is your
are saying-
ice cream back home?
I don't know. There is no variety. We just say ice cream.
So is it just like a cup, or how do you guys eat it?
Like corn, like corn shape.
Like a cone?
Yeah, corn shape.
Okay.
Wait, I think it's also, it's not, I'm not generalizing Nepal. It's more about the village where I come from.
Yeah.
I have not seen, and I have not seen Nepal a
Yeah.
lot. And I just knew one ice cream, and when they were saying type
Yeah.
of ice cream, I said, what? And everyone was saying
Yeah.
this, that,
Yeah.
this, that. And then I said, oh, I also don't know this one. And everyone was like,
Yeah.
so I think there are a lot of other culture shock, but whenever you guys are facing this, be ready. This is like very normal here, and we grew up with different things that they don't know. So it's nothing like we are not good, we are not smart enough. Nowadays I'm like computer science and business research. I'm too major, and I'm doing very good in my college.
Yeah.
So I think this is my small message to the international student who is coming to the United States.
Yeah, I think one of the things that also shocked me was something that I miss so much from back home is the variety of fruits. I think that is one of the biggest things. And now you're talking about ice cream. Whenever it's the summertime, that's where we have the most fruit. And people back there will make not ice cream but like popsicles out of like the actual fruit, and you would have like the chunks of fruit. And I miss that so much, something that you can't find here. So
What is your favorite fruits?
I think I just like all the fruits. I don't think I have a favorite fruit. Even here, whenever I go to the grocery stores or whenever I go to Shaney, I always grab just everything that they have because I like all the fruits. I think that's one of my favorite things to have. Even like as for dessert, I just like to have fruit.
Oh wait, let me talk one more thing. Like one me and Hima was talking. Like wait, and this is also cultural shock because in Nepal, like even though the green vegetable or whatever, we cook very gently so that
Yeah.
the greenness everything is gone. So we do not eat like raw thing, basically the salad thing. And one day me and
Like
Hemina
salads?
me and Hemina was talking, and she said I can survive with salads for a week and month.
Yeah, like some salads and chicken. Yeah, because I like that, and that's something that I don't think that's a very like Mexican thing. I think that's a very my household type of thing. My mom was always very adamant for us to learn how to eat fruits and vegetables. So, and I was a swimmer, so my diet was very rigid ever since I was very little. So I had to eat all of those things.
Oh my god, wait, one day I was trying to eat, I was not eating, I was trying to eat, and I put on my plate and I called to my home and I say my mom, and she's saying that, wait, are you good, why are you eating grass? Like we do not eat salad and these things, but nowadays I prefer salad because you can see my health, so I eat salad. Oh, that's so nice. And Hemina, let's talk a little bit more about the Springfield College. So what do you think? What is the best thing about Springfield? What do you like more about the Springfield College?
I think one of my favorite things about Springfield College is the sense of community. It doesn't just stay within the students. I think it goes all the way to professors and faculty. I think everybody's willing to help you in some way or another, or refer you to somebody that's going to help you. So even I found myself to be here alone, like many other international students. We come here alone, and in a way we're lost because we don't know where a lot of things are. However, there's always going to be people that would advise you on where are the best things to go, or even in Springfield College. If you need anything, you can always contact somebody and they will be like, well, ask this person or ask this other department, or maybe try this department. So I think it doesn't matter who you ask, you will always have an answer to your problems, and I think that's what makes Springfield College so valuable, because I think it has such a tight community. It doesn't just stay with the students, it develops to professors. You can sit down with your advisors, you can talk to them about what you want. That's how I decided to go for a second master's degree, because I sat down with my advisor from my MBA, and he's the one who helped me and guided me through that. So I think it doesn't matter what your path is. If you come to Springfield College, you will not get lost. You will find help, and there are gonna be people that are willing to help.
Yeah, Hima, I think this is one of the best way of presenting, this is the best way of saying and what is the good thing about the Springfield College. So thank you for that, and I 200% I agree with what Ximena said, but I also want to add some of the more thing. I think Springfield College is a small college.
Yeah.
So here, the way you say, very tight community, so everyone know everyone.
Yeah.
And in addition, we have different culture. We say hi to almost everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Even though we don't know, we say hi and people say hi. So I think this is one of the things I never feel homesick. Let me be very honest. I never. It's been 3 years, but I think it's I'm in my very first semester. Because everyone say hi, so you will never feel, I never feel lonely or anything like that.
Yeah.
Secondly, I think we have a very unique culture. We hold the door for the people who is coming. For example, I go outside, I hold the door so that other can come. I think these things are small things, but it give of feelings of belongingness. It feels I don't know, a warm culture that people care about the people. So I think this is one of the very best thing that I will highlight about
that. That's funny, because for us that's so common back home.
Oh really? Yeah, it is not. It is not common in Nepal. No way.
I mean, if you have somebody behind you that's going through the same door as you, you can just stay until they come in.
Wait,
it makes sense for me.
No, I have not experienced this in back to my home, so I think this was this is a huge thing for me.
Yeah.
And what is the other thing that I will say? I think community, people are so nice.
Mm-hmm.
Professor and everyone is so helpful. People want to help each other, and I think the concept let's grow together, let's be successful together. So here everyone is uplifting each other, and we have very good college. We have a lot of things available in the college that will make you succeed on the basis of academic point of view, athletic point of view, being friend. So I think there are a lot of good things about this Springfield College.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and I also want to talk one more thing. I don't know, it's a big difference for you or not, but what is the education system? What is the difference education system that you experience in United States in comparison to your country?
I don't think, and this might be my experience, it might not be the Mexico's experience. This is just mine, because I grew up very lucky to have my parents care so much about my education back home. So I was always in schools that I started in school the very first time. Primary school, I started in a British school. So I already had a bit of international experience in my school years. After I graduated from 6th grade, we have what's called secondary grade, which is 7th to 9th grade. And I went into a school that was founded by nuns who came from the US, and it's called Marymount School. And I had the, in a way, American experience, because all of my classes were in English. So I think that the educational system for me, in my experience, was not so different, because I was used to it. Even in my college and my bachelor's experience, it was a private school. So I've always been to private school. I know that the public schools in the US and Mexico, from the little that I know, are very different, but I've always been lucky to have the private school experience. Even back home, because it is very, very different back home to go to a public school and to go to a private school. There is a huge gap between both educational systems, and I was lucky to have always attended private schools, and that's why the actual coming to Springfield College was not a big change for me.
Oh, so let me introduce a new fortunate and privileged girl. Hima. You're so privileged.
I was.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
was.
okay.
I really was.
So I think educational shock is like a huge shock in Nepal and United States, because first I will start from here. Even though 2 days ago I was talking with my brother, it is a little hard to come here, but it's very easy to get like A grade. I think I know almost every international student has A in United States. Let me go a little like I will start from here, like major, like in Nepal. If you after like I think in 12th grade you need to decide whether you will go to the science background or commerce background. And if you choose to go to the science background, or if you choose to go to the commerce background, you cannot after that you cannot go to the science background.
Okay.
It's like I don't know how this, but here I choose the science background. Now I'm taking economics class, finance class, whatever you want to explore you can do here, but in Nepal you cannot do. It's like system, you cannot do means cannot do.
Once you decide, that's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
And
We don't have that.
yeah, so this is like I think this is horrible because they will not allow they will not allow you to explore yourself.
Yeah.
Even though in my freshman year, sophomore year, I was undeclared in United States. I was undeclared in Springfield College, and I was exploring every classes.
That's good.
And that you will never get in Nepal.
Yeah.
So I think this is the huge difference.
Yeah.
Secondly, I will talk about like Nepal education system is more about like you need to memorize the things. Exam is like a big burden. I never worry about exam here, but there you need to like at the end they do the final and whole thing you need to memorize and go and write.
Yeah.
That is like more than a torture.
Yeah.
But here it's like I never worry about the exam. Still I have A in every classes. And here if you let me say one very secret thing. If you go to the class you will get the mark. If you do the assignment you will get the mark. If you do anything outside the class, if you go to any event, the professor gives the grade. So it is very easy to get a very good grade in United States in comparison to Nepal. I was talking with my brother and I told him it's hard to come, but when you come here, education is very easy. I never feel any pressure. See, I'm in the college, but I'm a double major. I go to the event. I'm like very active in club. I do the startup, everything, and everything is very well managed. And this would never be possible in Nepal because of the education system.
Yeah.
So, I'm so lucky in this topic, I will say. Ximena, I think we already covered, but do you want to include anything like what is your experience as an international student?
Yeah, I think my experience as a grad international student is very different as a undergrad. I think when you're an undergrad, you're super busy. You have all of these things that you want to go to. You have all of these things that you need to discover. I think when you're a graduate, you maybe come into a different mindset because you already chose your path. So I think it's a little different. The life of a grad student, I think, and I see some of my fellow undergrads at Springfield College or not fellow because I'm not an undergrad, but I see the undergrad students and they're like super busy trying to figure out like everything or trying to try out everything, and that's what you're supposed to do in undergrad. But for grad, I think you kind of start shaping your path into, okay, I did this in undergrad. Now I'm doing a concentration because that's what graduate school is. You do like a big focus on something that you choose, and then that's how you start shaping your path. I know, like my day to day. Is that what you want me to talk about? Like my day to day.
We will go next. And wait, now today I found a secret. We are very good friends and we go some of the event together, but she go very selective event. Now I understood why you do not go in every event.
Well, also I think it depends on time and what type of event you go to, because like for example yesterday we had the alumni and networking event. I think that's a great event no matter what grade you're in. It doesn't matter if you're a sophomore, it doesn't matter if you're a senior, it doesn't matter if you're a freshman, or if you're a graduate student. I think you can always use of networking. But if maybe there's an event of something that I'm not as drawn to, or maybe it interferes with my schedule, like I'm not gonna go.
Sounds good. Like this is like more mature life. But undergrad, I feel this is like a freedom because
Yeah.
we have a wings to fly like anywhere.
Yeah, you can do
No
it.
rate of direction.
Yeah.
So I think I take that as a fun. I go to almost every event you can, because I think this is also like mindset in undergrad. Like we need to explore everything so that we will figure
Yeah.
out what is our strength and weaknesses. What is the area where we can do the most or something like that.
Yeah.
So this is why I will say I think undergrad is the way you said it's like more about the exploring.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Yeah, and then we can go to the next question. Like, what does your day look like as an undergrad student, as a student in Springfield College, and as a student in United States?
Well, I think my day to day in every single semester that I've been in Springfield College has been different. I think that right now it's a little stressful because we are in this finish line of like we're about to graduate in May. We have to start looking for jobs. I think in that sense it's a little bit more stressful versus the I have to do projects or exams or deliveries stress. So I think that my day to day right now is mostly working on my independent study research. I wake up in the morning. I'm a very spiritual and faith-driven person, so I always read my Bible or have my podcast in the morning. That is the very first thing that I do. Then depending on what I have, if I don't have anything to do from research or like a meeting, sometimes I have like early morning meetings, I'll go to the gym. And I think that's something that has helped me so much. Going to the gym has helped me control my like anxiety, my stress, my desperation sometimes. So I recommend working out, especially whether you're undergrad or graduate. I recommend working out, finding an outlet for all of those intense emotions that we can go through in college. And then I start working either on my research, which is a requirement to graduate. It's a smaller study than a thesis, but it still requires a lot of time. And then I'll just start applying for jobs. I'll just look for connections. I'll give myself some time to do that. I recently started working on my resume and my LinkedIn. Like I started setting up everything, and now I'm just applying for jobs, which is what I do after my research. And then at the end, I just try to relax. I'm a huge video game. I'm a huge gamer, and I love games, and I think that's something that I have to do. It doesn't matter, even if I don't go to the gym, I have to play games at the end. So I think that's my big self-care thing that I do. So at the end, I always, if I'm not too tired, sometimes I'm just tired and I want to go to bed, I want to relax, but if I have the energy, if I have the mental capacity, if I'm not too exhausted, I'll just hop in on my computer or my consoles and play some video games.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
I like this. Even though we have talked a number of times, like Ximena, she's like very smart. Even though sometimes she also guide me, hey, this is how I can plan my day. And from the last semester, I'm going to gym. I didn't used to go to gym, and even though she used to say me, and I was reading a book, and it said that I know, like gym is not only about the physical. It's really help you with your emotion and everything.
Yeah, it does.
So yeah, I will also agree with her, and I will also recommend please start doing the gym.
Yeah.
That is a huge benefit. And what about as an undergrad student, as an undergrad international student, I would say like that. My schedule is also so different because undergrad international student, I think almost 90, more than 95% they work almost 20 hours in a college every week because we need money.
Mm-hmm.
So mine is a little different, and it's like a lot because she said that in the grad life is like so planned, but here we are exploring, we are working, and we are doing a lot of things. Like my morning, I think my morning start from around 7 when I wake up. So mostly I have 8 a.m. class. If I do not have 8 a.m. class, I go to the union and I study over there. After that, I take my breakfast before going to the class, and then I eat my lunch around 1 or 2. and we have like 3-4 class. So during like you can say like 8 a.m. to 3 or 3:30 mostly we have classes.
Yeah.
And but there is a gap in between, so at that time we do assignment, sometimes we hang out with the friend
Yeah,
and talk about
for
this
sure.
thing. And I go to the gym 5 to 6:30, and this is like every day. And then after coming from the gym, most of the time like 3 days I work in library. So library is like very chill job because you just need to sit and do your assignment.
Yeah.
So that's very good. And most of the time during that time we talk about the startup, because I have my startup and I'm going to record my podcast about the startup very soon. So guys, please stay tuned. And then we do about the startup. I do the assignment, go to bed. I think this is, I don't know if it's a good or bad thing, but I have never been to bed before 12. This is, I think this is the college vibe. In my home I used to go around 10:30, 11 is the maximum. But here I do not remember when I have been to bed before 12.
Yeah. I think it also has to do with the undergrad versus graduate. I think that when you're an undergrad, you're more busy. I, on my end, wish that I had like an internship or something extra. I wasn't able to get any of them, but I think that it also depends on how busy you are in undergrad. There's so much going on. You also take a lot more classes when you're in undergrad versus when you're in graduate. I know that. So it you have to study for all of them. When it comes to grad, I had 9 credits, which is the total of 3. And I took 9 classes, but I had 2.5-hour classes for maybe 1 or 2 days, and it was three classes. And at the rest of the week, I had it for myself. I could work in projects. And mind you, grad is very demanding, but they're different. Undergrad and grad, they're both demanding on their own ways. But when you're an undergrad, I think you have so much going on. I remember my undergrad, and I agree, I wouldn't go to bed until it was like 12 or 1, because I had to study, because my classes were from 7 o'clock in the morning to 6 o'clock in the afternoon. And then I would have to do homework, and then I would have to drive home, I would have to eat, I would have to do all of these things, and then go back in the morning. So I can definitely say that an undergrad life is way easier than a graduate.
Yeah, I agree. And I will say one more thing. Like Himena said, like religious. I think there is a couple of things that I do every day. For example, reading Quran. I read at least 5 pages in every day.
Yeah.
Nowadays I'm like entrepreneur, so I read a book every day. So I think the way you say that in the morning you do these things.
Yeah.
And these are the very small things I will tell. Like there are the very small commitment I have done by myself. Like in whatever is the situation, I will read 5 pages of Quran. Whatever is the situation, I will read the book. And whenever you accomplish and go, and when I go to the bed, and when I reflect the day, I feel like very positive about myself. No, like whatever I'm committing, I'm doing, and this gives a lot of positive energy.
Yeah.
So I will just say, you just make a small commitment to yourself and do it. This will give a lot of positive energy.
Yeah.
And this is what I learned from Himena. She what and she told me. So thank you.
Yeah, for me, it's very important to have that. And I didn't do it before I came here. Before I was independent. Before I started finding that I really needed that time for myself, whether it was to play video games, whether it was to read my Bible. I really needed those time, and that's what's called self-care for me. It's my own time, and it's also surrounding myself with people that are maybe similar in how they act, and maybe not in the same way of thinking, maybe not in the same religion, but in similar ways of acting towards other people, or showing kindness, or being grateful. I think that it's also good to surround yourself with people that are positive as well, because as an international student, it's hard to be here alone. So if you don't surround yourself with positive people, then it makes it even harder, or people that can be there for you. And I think that's also the difference that I would notice between some of my classmates. And mind you, their graduate life as a grad student was way different than mine, because some of my grad fellows are working full-time while doing their their grad program. We can't do that. We don't have the luxury to work in another company or full time and then just have one or two classes. So I think our lives look different from those of like a traditional student as well.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. And like the way you said, we cannot just go work outside because of the things. So we need to work on campus. And even though on campus job are very limited for the international student because we do not have work study. So yeah, it is a bit harder as an international student. We are almost at end of the podcast, end of the session, and so I just want to say, Ximena, what is your advice for the upcoming international student, upcoming student?
I think my advice is do your research with all the schools that have options. Like you mentioned before, always go with the one that you feel is the best. If there's one thing, whether maybe you're thinking about going to Springfield College or not, if there's one thing maybe you can take from the podcast is that Springfield College, you're never going to be alone. In Springfield College, you're always going to find community. So maybe if that's something that worries you as an international student, being far from home, I work in the admissions building during the summer, and a lot of the questions parents had is, my son's going to be alone there, my daughter's going to be alone there. I think one of the biggest things that people don't realize is how much community Springfield College has. So if there's anything that worries you about maybe being alone, about maybe not finding your way, about maybe not fitting in, I think one way or another at Springfield College you will fit in, you will find your way, you will find people that are there to support you, to be a support system, and you will find even specific departments, specific offices that are meant to help you, even if you're going through mental health situations. Springfield College is very open about that. When it comes to culture shock, when it comes to the expectations versus reality, I think everyone is different, and I would say try to not give yourself ideas or how the college is going to be. Just come here and come with a positive attitude, come with intentions to work, intentions to create community, intentions to make friends, intentions to be a good person and be the best version of yourself, and show that to people, show your true self to people, and you'll find good people that surround you in exchange. I think when it comes to the culture shock, it's going to happen no matter what. You're moving from a country that you were raised, that you were born and you lived for your entire life, for your 18 plus years, for your 20 plus years, for your 25 plus years, whatever age you are, it's gonna happen. Things are not the same. So it is something that maybe I wasn't mentally ready. I thought because our countries are so close together, it's not gonna happen. But no. So if my country is so close to the US and maybe you're coming from a different country that is so far away, just expect that there's gonna be a culture shock. Things are going to be different. So just come with a positive mindset. I know we can't avoid to do our expectations, but I think that's one thing. Just always come with a positive mindset and take the plunge, take the risk, come and have an experience, an international experience that it's going to give you so much value, not just for your personal life, but also for your work life, for your academic life.
Wow, so this is one thing I think, Ximena, you include almost everything what is needed. Because I had a couple of points you have already included. What can I say now? Yeah, thank you. I think this is the perfect and brief explanation of what I will also say if you are coming to the college. I will just add a couple of things over here. I think she already said like positive mindset, being optimistic, and try to go with the flow, like not limit yourself like this, that. So better to go with the flow. And I think I will include one thing, even though if you are coming as an international student, be open-minded to explore, make friends with the international student as well as like American student, so that you will learn about the culture, way of life, thinking, how they pursue, how they think in life, and how we think. And if you are an American student, international student are very open to be friend with American student, and it's like a little bit cultural shock, cultural difference that people don't know how to like there is a different way of address or you can say that like making friend, but yeah, there is a little bit of shock, but everyone is very open-minded. As an international, so we come here with a positive mindset that we are going to make friend, we are going to have national, international, everyone friend. So so I hope, and I am taking that. I think let me say like this at the last, that international students are very open to make friends with other international as well as national students, and I'm hoping, and this is also from my a lot of friends, say that national students are also very open to make friends with international students. So let's remove all the gap and let's approach each other to be friend forever.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for coming,
Thank you for
Himena, for
having me.
the episode. This was really great. I learned a lot of things, and I'm pretty sure the people who are going to see, they will also learn a lot of things, and we will keep growing together, and we will make a lot of other videos together.
Good. Thank you.
Thank you very much for coming. Thank you, Himena.